Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make this couscous jollof. If you'd like to see how it's made, please keep watching. So this is a list of ingredients that I'll be using for this recipe. So first I'm going to marinate my chicken breast. I'll be using 2 medium chicken breasts for this recipe. So into the breast I'm adding paprika. I'm also adding ground ginger. I'm drizzling it all over the chicken and on the side of the baking dish as well, because I want it to be enough to coat the back of the chicken breast as well. And next I'll be adding a little bit of dried rosemary and also a little bit of minced herbs drizzled all over the chicken breast as well, and curry powder. Yeah, so this is the ingredients I like to use for this recipe. You can use whatever spices you have at home. Now I'm adding ground white pepper to this. You can use according to your taste and preference. You can make it a little bit of spices or a lot, like I like using. I've also had a little bit of salt, and this is the chicken stock I normally use for my recipes, so I'm just drizzling it all over, and I'll now be coating it properly. You can see the ones in the baking dish. I'm just mixing it to the back of the chicken breast to make sure it's properly coated. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, you're welcome. Please support me by subscribing to my channel as I upload new recipes every week, and I'll be glad to have you as part of my family. So next I added a little bit of olive oil because I'm going to be baking this in the oven to make sure it's not dried when I am baking it. I'm also adding a little bit more and just rubbing it into the chicken breast to make sure there's a little bit of oil there and it's not coming out dried when baking. And I've just been rubbing it into the chicken breast, and this is how they look like. I'm going to be baking it for 180 about 30 to 40 minutes, and I'll be using tomatoes and onion for this recipe. I blended it, and that is my tomato mix. So into a pot I'll be adding sunflower oil. I'll also be adding 1 medium chopped onion, and I'll be sauteing this for about 3 to 5 minutes until they're properly cooked before adding the next ingredients. And next I just added 1 bay leaf into the pot, and I'll be using tomato paste for this. Is a pepper and onion paste. I'm just adding half of the tomato paste, just sachet. I'm not using everything though. So I just added it into it, and now I'm giving it a good mix to make sure it's properly cooked. And after doing this, you can see it's properly cooked. So I'm adding the tomato mix, which is tomato and onion. You can add peppers if you have scotch bonnet peppers, and I'm just pouring it into the pot, and I'll be giving it a good mix together with the fried tin tomato paste. You can see the colors are already changing, and I'm just going to be mixing this to the properly mix together, and I'll cover it and allow it to cook until the moisture content in the tomatoes is reduced. You can see after a while it has been cooking, the moisture content is reduced. There is a lot of steam, and now it is reduced. I'm gonna add my spices again. So I'm basically using the same spices I used to coat the chicken breast. I just added ground ginger, and now I'll be adding paprika as well. I'm also adding the curry again. The same ingredients I used, like I said, for the chicken breast. And now I'm adding minced herbs again into this, and I'm adding a little bit of black pepper. It's a hot pepper, and I'm also adding salt to taste. I like adding the spices into the pot now because that way it's properly cooked with the tomato paste. I added a little bit of chicken stock, and I'm getting it a good mix to make sure it's properly sauteed, and I'll be cooking it for a few minutes before continuing the process. And after cooking for a while, I came back and gave it a mix, and I'll be adding chicken broth. So I'm using 2 cups of chicken broth because I'll be using 2 cups of couscous for this recipe. Because couscous, you need to use equal parts of water and equal parts of couscous to make sure it's properly cooked. So I tasted it, and it's not properly salted, if that makes sense. I just add a little bit of salt to taste because I couldn't feel the salt in the milk, and now I'm just giving it a good mix after cooking. I didn't allow it to boil. Once about boiling, I switched off my gas, and now I'll be adding the couscous. You can see how good that looks. It looks so good, and I'm just giving it a good mix to make sure it's mixed with the ingredients in the pot. and looking red already. So after mixing it, I'm just gonna cover with a tin for about 10 minutes to make sure the couscous get cooked. Remember, my stove is off. You need to switch off your stove while cooking this and make sure it's properly cooked on its own without any heat. And after cooking, this is how the couscous looks like. I'm just fluffing it lightly with a fork. You can see how good it looks. And if you like this video so far, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave your comments below if you have any questions, and don't forget to share as well. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload new recipes and new videos every week. Thank you. And you can see how my couscous look like. It's cooked and it's ready to go. So next I'll be boiling mixed veggies for this recipe. Those are the veggies I'll be using. It's a combination. So also I checked on my chicken breast and you can see they are cooked. I left them for a while. You can see the baking dish is a bit brown and my chicken has a brownish color. So I'm just gonna cut the chicken breast into bits. So I'll be using it for this meal prep. Remember guys, I'm making a meal prep for lunch for over 3 days. So I'm just cutting it into bits. This chicken was not agreeing with me. It was just breaking up into bits, but the next one was better, so I'll just leave it for now. So after cutting my chicken breast into bits, I measured my couscous and poured them into containers. You can see, like I said, it's a meal prep for lunch for over 3 days. I just aggregated them there, and I'm adding the chicken breast and bits into it to make sure they are all equally portioned. And you can see how good that looks. So I came in for a closer view, guys. This is my couscous and my chicken breast. It's looking good already. So my mixed veggies is cooked. I'm just gonna drain it and use it. So after draining it, that's how it is. So make sure with broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots, and some peas, green peas as well. So I'm just putting it into different plates. I'm just making sure they're properly patted into different plates. And if you like this recipe so far, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload new recipes. This is how my couscous chicken breast and veggies prep look like. It looks good and it definitely tasty up as well. So I'm just gonna pack it up and put it in the fridge. It can last me up to 3 to 4 days in the fridge without going bad, and I just have to reheat them every time I need to have them for lunch. And thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye.